Our next speaker is Junior Abby Smith.
Hello. Fellow students, we stand here today because we are angry. We stand here today because we are scared. And most importantly, we stand here today because we want to see real change. On Tuesday, April 20th, 1999, at around 11:20 a.m., 2 gunmen walked onto the campus of Columbine High School, killed 13 people, and wounded 20 others. Almost 19 years later, on Wednesday, February 14th, a lone gunman walked onto the campus of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, killed 17 people, and wounded more than a dozen others. Today, we stand in solidarity with all those from Columbine to Marjory Stoneman Douglas who have been affected by gun violence in the United States. We stand in solidarity to make sure that none of these people died in vain. School safety is a discussion that has no political party and no affiliation. The safety of our students is not a debatable issue. We must call on our state lawmakers, State Senators Mike Azinger and Donna Boley, and State Representatives Bill Anderson, Ray Holland, Vernon Criss, John Kelly, and Frank Deem to make a push for safer gun laws in West Virginia. Our current gun policy in this state allows anyone in West Virginia over the age of 21 to carry a gun without a permit or any kind of training. That is absolutely unthinkable. We must demand more from our policymakers, and we must demand that at the very least, we require all gun owners to obtain a permit in West Virginia to carry a weapon. Next, we must call on our national lawmakers, Senators Shelley Capito and Joe Manchin and Representative David McKinley, to push for a discussion on what can be done across the United States to end gun violence. This conversation should have happened after Columbine, and again after Virginia Tech, and again after Sandy Hook, and again after Pulse nightclub, and again after Las Vegas. After Marjory Stoneman Douglas, we demand that it happens now. We refuse to lose one more person to an issue that can be solved. I urge every single one of you to call any one of our officials I listed above and make your voice heard. And lastly, we need to strengthen our support for mental health issues in our own community. Mental health has a stigma around itself, which makes it even easier for someone with these problems to go unnoticed. We must expand mental health resources in order to ensure that no person ever feels the need or urge to turn to a gun to hurt themselves or others. And we must acknowledge that there are many causes to the gun violence problem in our country, and all of them must be addressed. This issue is now being looked at under a microscope in an attempt to dissect it piece by piece. However, we know the issues and we know what needs to be done. We refuse to let our elected officials spend one more day biding their time and avoiding this problem. We call on them to take action now. And most importantly, from all of this, what I want you to feel is the need for political involvement. Before this movement began, we looked to our policy leaders and adults for guidance. We have put our trust in them to fix this issue, and they have failed us. Today, the world is looking at us to guide them. We are standing with students from all over the country. Around 6 teenagers started this movement in their basement, and now we've grabbed the attention of the public, and the whole world is watching and waiting to see what we are going to do next. No matter what side of the debate you're on, know that the only way to create change is through activism and voting. By being here today, you've decided that it's time for change. So go out and make change happen. We're not just teenagers, we are the future. Our voices matter and what we're saying matters. It is time for our generation to stand up and say enough is enough. If you'll be 18 by November 8th through 6th, please take the initiative to register to vote today. To quote Marjory Stoneman Douglas Sr. David Hogg, "We all have different opinions and beliefs, but at the end of the day, we're only going to be able to save lives by working together." Fellow students, it is time to go out and promote love and acceptance, not hate. It is time for us to change this world into a world we want to live in as adults. I truly believe that together, we can build a city, a state, and a country where the world is a better place. Thank you.